Hi. What's up, guys? It's this guy back. I decided that today, well, I've been wanting to do the percentage chance monthly update for a little bit. Admittedly, I was kind of trying to put it in a few weeks ago. It was more than monthly at that point, but now we've actually hit September, and I feel like I kind of gotta put some things out there. I would have gone live with this, but I made the decision to go with pre-recorded because that seemed more conducive to what I had to say. We are going to talk about some channel updates, but I also feel like it is very, very important to address some of the elephants in the room. In regards to some personal life stuff that was going on that I alluded to in vague context. I have to, because it's, again, personal stuff between me and, you know. But I also do feel like, given that it affected the schedule a bit and it affected some of the tone in some of the streams, and also sometimes streams were a little more erratic in terms of timing than normal, I felt like I did owe you guys that. So, I need to be very careful when I choose my words on this one, because like I don't want to make anybody look worse unintentionally. I think everybody ultimately did the best that they could, so, you know, kind of is what it is. Yeah, give me a second. I gotta be sure. Again, doing this not live was important because choosing my words carefully is, again, very important. So just give me a second to make sure I've got this correct. Which, to be clear, isn't like I'm not regurgitating or rehashing or certainly not falsifying anything. I just don't want to I don't know. It's tricky, you know. You want to be sure you're being fair to everybody, kind of thing. So yeah, just give me a second. Okay, so. And I promise we'll move into some regular channel news updates shortly. Some of you may recall over the last few months, 3-4 months, I had met somebody. They were on the channel a few times. I'm not gonna name them, even though that's out there. Not exactly hard to find. But it's just better to kind of put it in the past. It is in the past now at this point. It's yeah. I need another second to catch myself. So, the week, some of you might recall that there was the, oh man, this is harder than I thought it would be. I knew it would be hard, but shit. The week that I was going to go on vacation, there was a video that went up. I probably will. I mean, it didn't end up happening, but I'll probably end up deleting. No, I won't end up deleting it. Well, there's nothing really relevant in that video anymore. I guess I could probably delete it at some point. That I was supposed to go away for a few days, and that did not happen, obviously. The trip got conspired against, one could put it that way. That seems the most fair way to put it. And I have not heard from the person in question since, and I didn't really get much conversation on the way out or explanation. Is that unfair? I don't know. I want to be super clear that I ultimately think everybody made the choice they most likely had to, and if that is where things had to stay, then that's just what it is. I don't want anybody to, make assumptions about what it was or wasn't. I don't want anybody to be assuming anything about the person in question. It is what it is. sometimes these things just happen like that, and I don't really think... Well, if I thought I was to blame, I would tell you. And I'm sure it probably is more me than anything. But I'm never really gonna know. I don't really feel super comfortable throwing someone else under the bus, so yeah. I'm sure everybody ultimately made the choice that was best for them, and that's really all there is to it. And yeah, I don't want anybody to make assumptions about what it was or wasn't or anything like that. And yeah, this is... at the end of the day, it's not anybody's business but mine or anybody else's. And ultimately, the only reason I'm even giving you guys this much is because I've been a little erratic, and I at least owe an explanation as to why I was like a little distraught and a little messed up for a bit, you know. So that is ultimately why I have given you guys this much, and that's all I'm going to be giving you. Please do not ask about it. Please do not get into questions about it. Please do not make assumptions about what it was or wasn't. Please do not make any judgment calls on me or the other person. Please. I'm being serious. None of that shit. Okay? I suppose in the end it's lucky that there were no true identifying marks in the stuff that was on the channel regarding them. Oh, that is the other part of this, is that the question of the other stuff on the channel that involved that person, if I was ever asked to remove it, I would. I have not been. I've not really been contacted since, honestly. Which is fine. At the end of the day, everybody can disengage with something for any reason. Doesn't have to really give an explanation sometimes. It's just people are complicated. But in regards to some of the, I'm trying to identify the content specifically as little as I can, because I think that's for the best. Even though if you know, you know. The multiplayer-based content, at most I would consider unlisting everything except the first one of those. Oh, again, I want to keep it vague. I don't want to directly point to this stuff. That stuff I would be willing to unlist. Everything except the first one. One of the playthroughs on the channel of recent started with that person's presence for most of that stream, like the first session of something. I'm not going to be removing the first session of that because it's the first session of a major project, so that would be not good if I just took it down. I'm not going to do that, simply because I think it was still a good memory, and well, it meant something to me. But even beyond that, it's the beginning of a proper project. It's not going anywhere. It just will be what it was. It was a moment in time, a snapshot. It is what it is. Yeah. So as far as the content on the channel that involved that person, I don't think it's gonna go anywhere unless I'm asked to. Kind of will be what it is. I'm okay. Is anybody worried? It has been 2 to 3 weeks now, so you know, it is what it is ultimately, and yeah. Please don't ask follow-up questions about it. I will not answer them. That is the most I'm going to give. Honestly, part of me feels like I expected to say even less than I did, and wanted to say less than I did, but I think a few things probably squeaked out extra that I didn't quite mean to. I don't think any of it was... If I thought anything in there was like super like over the line, it would be edited out. I don't really think there is anything quite like that. So yeah, just the general baseline is that I felt messed up for a bit. It is what it is, and that's just life. That's just how it is. It's fine. At this point, I'm over the worst of it. I'm through it. I'm okay. I'm gonna be all right. And the channel will now move on to normal trajectories again. Okay. So, this is the last time this will ever come up. Okay? Seriously. no follow-up questions. No, oh man, whatever, so-and-so, none of that, please. It's over, it's done. And I guess I learned a lesson about including someone in this stuff before I'm absolutely sure. Problem was, I was absolutely sure. And it did actually take a lot to convince me to do it, but I guess I gotta be more sure. Oh. And with that, this will never come up again. Okay. All right, let's get to fun updates now. All right. Like I said, fun updates. So, as far as what is coming up on the channel, for realsies, Expedition 33 is still in its weird little gray zone. I need to look in on that. I'll take a peek at that. Oh, there's something kind of major I actually need to check now that I think about it, because it's September that I haven't looked at. Huh. Let me do that real quick. Okay, I checked the thing that I needed to check. Where's the bank account? Anyway, it's all good. As far as upcoming stuff, we've added No Man's Sky into the rotation. We'll be doing some of that today. Honestly, I might have this go up tomorrow. Probably seems better for the timing. That'll be sort of a recurring thing. The thing about No Man's Sky is that No Man's Sky is just going to be whenever I feel like it, but also I never did the main story, and now I've finally come to realize, like, no, the main story is just an elaborate tutorial for many mechanics. Like, really don't take it that seriously and just get through it. And, like, now that I know that, I'm like, oh, wow, I probably would have felt more compelled to jump in more frequently if I'd known that that was just, like, what that was, and it actually blocked a lot of mechanics until you finish it. There is actually an onboarding process with it, especially for some of the later stuff, like late game, like the new planets that were added in the World War II update only show up if you've finished the main story stuff. So it's like, oh, okay, shit, great, good to know. So we're gonna a lot of that stuff will be off camera. Please do not expect No Man's Sky to be sequential, like session based. It'll just be, no, I'm just streaming No Man's Sky today. You know, just doing it like you would do a rival stream. You know, it's just, we're in there, we're having fun, we're doing it. Yeah, just having a good time. Very unserious stuff like that. Silent Hill 2 will continue. Last night I did Silent Hill 2 session 4, which was the hollowed out section of the hospital, and around 40 to 50% through that stream. It was only a 2-hour stream, so it's not that bad. Around 40 to 50% of that stream, I lost game audio and didn't notice until the very end, which both destroyed both my shorts that I took. The 2 shorts that I took were useless. And it's a shame, one of them is really good, but fucking useless now. Or I just kept rapidly swinging. A lot of you guys were watching that stream, by the way, and not saying anything. Guys, come on. That game had that stream had solid traction. Please, if you don't hear game audio, please tell me. Please. I promise, if it's continuing for an extended period of time, I don't know. Just tell me, please. Even if you don't regularly comment, I'm begging you, please. You'll save my life. Please. If you're like, this is weird, where's the game audio? Please just be like, audio? Sound? Please, just tell me. I'm begging you. Guys. Please. Anyway. It could have been worse. We've already played that game on the channel, so it's not the worst thing, but I will just, in the next stream, we'll probably just rewatch the cutscenes for that section on YouTube. It's like 2 or 3 minutes worth. That game's pretty dialogue free in the gameplay section, so really couldn't have happened at a better point in the game, honestly. The goal is to finish that before Silent Hill F. Rival Season 4 will also be coming into the mix once Angela and Daredevil. Well, sorry, I assume it's Angela first. I actually just recorded the reaction video to that like 20 minutes ago. That's actually premiering right now as I speak, to be honest. So that's cool. At the end of this week, assuming Amazon isn't fucky about it, we will be playing Cronos: The New Dawn. I'm very excited. For those that missed it, last month we did the first section of the Space Horror Trilogy, which was a lovely little project I came up with where I decided to thematically tie Callisto Protocol, Dead Space, and Cronos the New Dawn into a single aesthetic trilogy. So we'll be wrapping the space horror trilogy a little later this month. I'm excited. I'm very excited. Sorry, a little later this month. No, this week. A little later this week. The reviews actually hit this morning. There's some 10s, there's some 9s, there's some 8s, there's some 7s, there's a couple 6s. That's okay. Horror is always a subjective genre. Everybody has different expectations. It makes sense. I'm just happy it's not Callisto scores where it's like, oh no, or I open up those review scores and I'm like, because that was a bad day. A shocking day. I really didn't think it was going to go down that way. That's because I'm a fool, I guess. Yeah, I thoroughly find myself very excited for Cronos. I think it's going to be a banger. I think it's going to have a big swing. I think it's going to do some cool stuff. The worst thing people are saying about it is that it's too familiar. Okay. I've always said innovation is cool if you can do it, and if you can find new ideas, do it. But like, please, for the love of God, do not spec out certain types of games. We can have things that are a little derivative. We can. I promise you, we can. It's okay. It is okay. We can have contemporaries. It's fine. It's a good thing to explore different sides of existing ideas. That's a good thing. You should not, as an industry, just make one thing and then never do it again. I don't like that. Please, give me options. Give me alternatives. Give me things to dance around and play with. Yeah, Cronos looks fantastic. I'm very excited to get into it. I think that game looks friggin' fantastic. Yeah, so we'll jump into that later this week. Really? Another ad already? Jesus. Yeah, so as we head into the month of September, I am eagerly awaiting finding out what is going on with Silent Hill F as well. That's going to be a thing we do later in the month. I'm very excited about it. I'm still kind of halfway curious if they're going to call it Silent Hill 5, if that's like a reveal or something like that. I would be shocked if they managed to thread that into it. Although, if you got to the credits and then like it was the F and then like 3 letters faded in after that, I would mark the fuck out. That'd be so good. But yeah, I think F looks great. After that, I'm gonna be honest, VR stuff is also quickly approaching. You might recall that we have the Antlion wireless mod mic right now, and I've done a little more research on exactly where to pin it on the PSVR 2. I'm bad with adhesives, especially when it's a you get one shot at it situation. I learned that with the Switch 2, so maybe I'm a little, to be honest, this is probably much simpler than the adhesive screen protector on the Switch 2. But when I read, if you fuck it up, you gotta get a whole new thing, considering the circumstances which allowed me to get that thing in the first place, that's not an option. So I need to nail it. So I need a human being for assistance. So I gotta wait for a certain someone to show up. But once that thing's pinned to the headset, we'll be adding some VR stuff into the rotation. That includes Metro VR, which I've been very excited to look at for a long time now. That includes other things that are on VR, like Resident Evil 4 and 8. I've been really wanting to do in VR. Sorry, I've done 8 in VR already off camera. It was fantastic. I loved it. I kind of want to do it again before Village, or before Requiem. And then I would love to do RE4R in VR. I did a little bit of it at one point earlier, but I did not finish it. I think I got like 3 or 4 chapters in, and then I just sort of didn't get around to doing the rest of it. RE4 is a big game, man. Yeah, I want to make some VR stuff work, because that's always fun. The trick is just, of course, OBS is a bit of a nightmare. I feel like I need a human being to monitor the stream if I do that, just because like when OBS breaks or there's like an internet failure, right? I don't know about it. You know, I don't know about it if I'm fucking in the headset, right? So it's like if OBS freaks out while I'm in the give up machine, then I could be in a lot of trouble. You know, if I continue playing for like 30 minutes and it just wasn't going, you know, and I can't just record also so I don't lose anything, because it's like, no, my PC doesn't quite do that and stream, unfortunately for me. It is what it is. I cannot output what I output and also record without it being a huge problem. Then again, VR content is a little different in that, like, VR content is VR content's different, because VR content you cannot do like you can do like a 3 or 4 hour, 5 hours VR session. It's not advisable, especially when you're getting your VR legs back. You'll be doing closer to like an hour or two, right? So, and my PC can seamlessly record an hour or two. Maybe if I'm willing to do stuff like pause the recording during, we could make that work, but also like it's tricky, you know? Also, you know, I can't exactly pop the soundboard when I'm in the VR headset. That's like, that doesn't really work, you know? Like I can't like reach over and like, oh, can I press this button? And I'm like, okay, I want to play the Scooby-Doo sound effect. And then this plays.
Do it! Come on, kill me, I'm here!
Oh, that's the wrong one.
Do it now, kill me!
Either that or I fucking hit the button every time. That's like, you are now looking at your real world environment for a little bit. Every time you want to hit a fucking soundboard clip, like that's just not gonna work, unfortunately. VR is gonna have to be what VR is. I think people get that though. People would kind of understand, yeah, I'm not really gonna be able to hit buttons on that one, so it is what it is. But yeah, VR stuff is rapidly approaching. Since we are getting to that era where like, oh, we're not actually hitting like a dead end for projects by any means. But since there are a few things I kind of want to see if I can secure a certain device for, which would require a lot of money, which I'm not 100% sure is going to happen. And if it doesn't, then we'll just break glass Expedition 33. I heard that game's kind of rough on PS5, which is why I kind of want to see if I can procure a certain thing, which, given that I just said PS5, should be kind of obvious what I'm talking about. I feel like it's heavily unlikely, but certain parties are trying to convince me it will happen, so I'm giving it a chance. So we're holding back on Expedition a little longer as a result. In addition to that, that means that I may actually be getting a little close to break glass in case of Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. However, I have realized something that has now stuck in my brain. And this might be frustrating to some people, or this might be exciting. I'm not sure. Could be either. See, when I did Kingdom Hearts 1 and Chain of Memories last year, I did Kingdom Hearts 1 in December. I did Kingdom Hearts 1 on the channel as a full playthrough, but it was before the new recording setup. It was before Percentage Chance. It was when we were still 0% value cast. It was before Percentage Chance, which means it was all on the old recording setup, aka 1080p 60 off the PS5. I just played Kingdom Hearts 1 last year. It was great to revisit. I do not particularly feel a hankering to revisit it again anytime soon. However, I do not personally feel like it is reasonable to expect people that have been watching what the channel currently is to go back and watch Kingdom Hearts 1 and reach Chain of Memories with the old recording setup, with the old audio setup, with my old earbuds as the well, not actually old earbuds. Well, actually, yeah, kind of, because I kind of borked and broke the other ones because I'm an idiot. Expecting people to watch that particular playthrough isn't really reasonable at this point. And I'm like, but also I don't want, like, it's supposed to be a whole series playthrough, right? It's supposed to be complete on the channel. So I'm like, what do I do? I have made the decision that even though we played all of KH1 and then we watched the cutscenes for Chain of Memories, right? I don't want to replay KH1 on the channel again with the new recording setup. I just don't. It's not that I don't love KH1, it's that I just didn't. Even though it was a year ago at this point, it would still be a little too fresh. Also, I've played that game way too many times, to be honest. And I have played 2 also way too many times, but I think I've played it less because I used to be kind of a completionist, and I would go, I'm gonna do all of them, and then I would not finish 2. And then I wouldn't get through them all again, even though I've also played the others many times. I have made the decision that before we play KH2, and also it may be rapidly incoming because, like, you know, of the sort of rotational schedule problems, / Expedition is kind of on slight hold right now. we're probably going to, for those that don't know, the Kingdom Hearts 1.5 HD Remix Collection on PS5, or the HD 1.2.5, whatever you want to call it, they added a theater mode that was not originally in KH1 into the game later. So what I've decided is when it's time to do KH2, we're going to do, let's sit down and let's watch all the cutscenes for Kingdom Hearts 1 recorded properly off the machine in real time. And we'll just do a cutscene watch along for 1 and Rechain of Memories. It might be a single sitting. I'm gonna doubt it. I think the previous Rechain stream was like a good 3-4 hours, if I recall. Well, so we'll just be memeing, you know, we'll just be having fun. We'll be hanging out with the cutscenes. Because I don't want to play it again, but I do want it to be on the channel in the percentage chance era because it's too important to me to not be, you know? So we're gonna appreciate the cutscenes for Kingdom Hearts 1 and Rechain again. I might even, no, I won't unlist the original Rechain thing. That can stay where it is. But yeah, we're gonna redux KH1 in cutscene format. We're just gonna watch all the scenes again. We're gonna have fun. And yeah, we'll do the same with Rechain, and then we'll jump into 2. Because that will help me feel more like I have gone through 1 again recently enough to where I can like appreciate it. I can talk about a lot of things again, you know? And then like, you know, from there, just zoom on over to 2 and not feel like I didn't do it, you know? Because like, again, the old channel and the new era of the channel and the old era of the channel are such that I do genuinely feel like there is a little distance and space between them, and there should be, you know? I'm proud of all the old stuff, but like, there should be distance. So I want to make sure it's all clean as far as a full series playthrough, especially if we're going to lead into 4 eventually. I mean, gosh, I have to do it all before then at least. God, the craziest thing about Kingdom Hearts 4 right now is that like, because we just don't know, and every now and then they're like, hey, what's up? Like recently they were like, here's some screenshots. We're working on it. Don't worry about it. Like, I'm kind of scared that like, in the same way that like, you know, RGG was like, yo, what's up? Oh, that's another thing we actually got to talk about. Yeah. Oh, sorry. We actually do need to talk about RGG Fridays as well. Because of how that worked out with Director's Cut, like part of me is like, what if any day now, just to spite me, Square's like, Kingdom Hearts 4 is out in 3 months. And I'm like, I'm excited, but also like, time to cram the shit out of the series right now on the channel, right now. I've played them all. I'm not worried, but also like, woof. It's important to me that it's all there first, you know? So anyway, yeah, so, I feel like I gotta get a move on with it, because like every time I'm like, I got plenty of time. There's like another day where Square is in fact working on it, and they at any point they could just be like, guess what? Hey bro, what's up? Guess what's up? It's out. Either that, or I am in fact the demon that is holding back the release of 4, and they won't come until I finished and caught up on screen, which would be kind of funny. So yeah, that'd be kind of fun. Lastly, RGG Fridays has not been around for a bit. There is a reason for that. I've explained it a few times, but let's make sure it's all there. I just played Yakuza 0, guys, for the last year. It was great. I had a great time. I loved every minute of revisiting it. It was fantastic. I was very happy with it. I was happy revisiting it. I'm happy it went as well as it did. And I was happy with it. I said that I was happy with it a bunch of times. And then, right at the 60% mark, RGG decided to announce Director's Cut with a dub. If it was literally just new scenes without dub, I would have just gone and watched those with you guys and called it a day. But because it's a dub and I actively want to see those things, I actively wanted to play it again. But like that game has such a specific narrative flow and gameplay flow to a lot of its stuff. I just felt like I was going through the motions. I really felt like I was going through the motions. I was doing a lot of busy work off camera. Like I was constantly having to like okay, I'm gonna boot this game up on Switch, and I'm gonna fucking go mash through like 14 sub-stories. And I hate it. Because I did these recently, and I hate it. And I've already done these, and I did them all really recently, and I'm just going through the motions, and it's like, oh my god. I'm turning red just thinking about it, dude. Like, I'm literally turning red. Like, and that coupled with the fact that it's also on the Switch too, which means I need to move cables every time. I need to reorient the setup every time. Is a bit of a pain in the ass. So it's like, especially because the fucking TV still doesn't recognize the Switch 2 as a unique device, which I don't appreciate, by the way, Samsung. Fix your shit. You register what the Switch 1 is, you should register this just as a Switch as well. So anyway, whatever. So yeah, that's been tricky, getting both the motivation to keep going as well as like the desire and the ability to like keep myself engaged with it, even though the dub so far has been fantastic and I'm loving it. But like also, man, I can't do it. I was also waiting to see what was going to happen with Kiwami and Kiwami 2, but they're bringing those to Switch 2 now without dubs, and I kind of wonder what's up with that. As far as I'm aware, they said they were going to do director's cuts for the whole series, and if they want to do those for the other ones, I'm happy to play Kiwami with a dub on camera for the first time. Not the first time. I've played Kiwami 1. I've played Kiwami before. Kiwami's a remake of 1, if you're not aware. Kiwami 2 is a remake of 2, if you're not aware. I would be very happy to play those on camera again, given that it's been a while, so it wouldn't quite feel like just going through the motions. You know what I mean? Like that shit was breathtakingly annoying. To like just throw myself into again right after it. It felt like busy work. It felt the most like work that in a bad way that this has ever felt like, which is not great. It's very rough for me to keep up that enthusiasm if I'm like constantly dragging my heels on that. So I was kind of waiting to see what they would do, if they would announce a director's cut of Kiwami 1. Also, to be fair, I want the director's cut on disc on PS5 or PS4 or whatever, and I assume that's probably going to happen later in the year, if I had to guess. I figured that's what's going to be happening around that time, I think. I'm just guessing. They, of course, are going to release it on all platforms. They're not actually going to leave it as a Switch 2 exclusive. That would be insane. But yeah, like, I assume they're going to re-release the others with dubs, but then they dropped the ports of Kiwami 1 and 2 on Switch 2 coming soon, and I don't think they have dubs. They could have just dropped dubs in those, but it doesn't look like they're doing it, so I'm not 100% sure what they're doing or what they're thinking or what they're planning there. As a result, my timeline for RGG Fridays is all out of whack right now. I've been completely discombobulated with how exactly to maintain interest and do it. If I was doing it on my regular machine, on my PS5 still, I would be just trucking away and would be doing it once a week like normal. But the Switch 2 has created a barrier on it, and I really wish I hadn't engaged with. It also means if we get a dub director's cut for Zero for PS4 or PS5, like I'm just gonna pick it up there again, you know? Because I want it on disc, because there's new stuff in it, you know? Now, bear in mind, I have not seen any of the new scenes yet, and I have not seen many people like them, which is interesting. So here's the current actual plan with RGG Fridays. I'm not just sitting here telling you why it's been hard to do it without like a plan. I do actually have a plan. We are actually going to do specific things with it. At present, it will remain on its sort of loose hiatus. I'll get to it when I get to it. I am heavily considering, I've already found a video that here's all the cutscenes in Zero with the dub. This would not include the hostess stuff or any of the extra throwaway stuff with some other characters in the game, and that makes me sad because I would like to know who voices some of those minor bit characters. But also, it kind of is what it is, you know? I can't really change that if I can't drive my passion through it, so to speak. So we will potentially just be watching a cutscene compilation of Zero with the dub on camera together to see the rest of the scenes and appreciate the dub and just hang out and vibe and chill. We might do a few weeks of that, depending on how long I want those streams to be. I don't know, depends. I think there's like 3 hours of cutscenes I haven't seen at this point. So, you know, we'll see what happens. I am excited to at least do that and see those scenes and appreciate them correctly. But man, I gotta tell you, I really do wish I had more clarity on what exactly Sega was doing with RGG right now and where the series is sitting. I think the RGG Summit is actually happening later this month, which is interesting. So we'll actually be, I don't know if we'll take a look at it just because like they always put spoilers in it. And they're probably announcing the next real game there, if I had to guess. Which is crazy because I feel like Pirate Yakuza just happened. But also that's the Yakuza series at this point. It's great. It's the only game series I have left that's like actively releasing, actively releasing like PS2 games. It's great. Back when we could get multiple of the same thing through iteration. I feel like only Japan does that at this point. In a relatively short time span. So we'll be looking at that. There is a Kojima event called Beyond the Strand that he's hosting soon-ish, which is very exciting. I think that it sounds like we're going to see OD and Fizzant. Probably not Fizzant. I think he recently said Fizzant is like literally just him working on it right now. Which makes sense. I assume that means it's primarily in his brain. You know, like that's what working on Fizzant means. It's like in his head is what I think that means. So I assume we're going to be seeing OD primarily. It's Beyond the Strand. I would assume that means there's no Death Stranding DLC. Maybe there's like some quality of life updates. Maybe they'll add like a very hard mode. I would love a very hard mode of Death Stranding 2, by the way. I would love that. I would love a version of that game that pushed me a little more, which is funny because like the very hard mode in the first game did. I would like a very brutal difficulty setting. I think that'd be great. I think that would help that game a lot. Because a lot of people's main complaint with that game is that it's too easy compared to the first game. So yeah, put that in, make me happy, Koji. That would make me happy. I doubt we'll get any story DLC. I don't think Kojima's really into that. And I also don't think there's like, I don't know if he knows that story DLC exists. Because he said recently he only plays like one game a year. It's kind of funny. Yeah, I don't think he's really that kind of guy. I don't think we're gonna see anything like that from him. So yeah, we'll be taking a look at that as well. I think TGS is around that time. I need to check when exactly these events are, but yeah, other than that. With that, everything I needed to say in this update is taken care of. I think pre-recording this one was the right idea. Normally I would want to do these live to hang out, but yeah, I think this was ultimately the right way to do this given some of the sensitive stuff at the very start of this. It was good to get some of that out, but yeah, ultimately that is open and shut and will never be brought up again, and it's over now. So yeah. With all that out of the way, thank you very much for tuning into the pre-recorded Percentage Chance monthly update. I'm gonna get this up tomorrow. I don't think I'm gonna let this go up today. I'm gonna let this go up tomorrow, and we'll see what happens. And I'm gonna get to just streaming No Man's Sky within an hour or so, I guess. So yeah, I'm gonna get on that. And thank you guys for the support so far. The numbers have been climbing. I got this is the highest fast subscriber count I've ever increased recently. I think it's mainly because of that the shorts reaction trailers. Those actually seem to boost things a lot. So clearly when big events happen, I really need to be more honed in on those, because like, holy shit, dude. The way some of y'all showed up for that Lego Batman reaction, yeah, I get it. That might be the number one way to get my face and name and all that shit out there. Because like, man, I think there was like 36 likes on that, which doesn't sound crazy, I'm sure by most YouTube standards, but like for me that was insane. Actually, I think it might have been 80 something at a certain point. I'm gonna double check right now. What is it currently at? 46 likes on the Lego Batman trailer. That's crazy for me. With only a single dislike too. Man, you guys are awesome. Crazy. Interestingly though, the view count is only a little over 1,000. I kind of thought that did bigger in that case, but still, that's a really high like rate. And clearly enough of you stuck around. But the point I was trying to get at is we got 10 subscribers in the last week. That's the first time I've ever hit double digits in the span of a week in terms of gains, which is crazy. I've never had a double-digit subscriber gain count ever for a single week. That's nuts. 10. Nothing absurd, but like, yo, thank you guys for tuning in. And man, it means a lot, and it feels like we're starting to pick up steam a bit. We're like 4 subs away from 200. That's crazy. God, I feel like I almost need to. I almost feel like I need to celebrate 200 with the KH2 playthrough. Oh no, I've just said it out loud. Now I'm doomed to. I have to. It has to be the celebration now. Okay, well, if you really want that Kingdom Hearts 2 critical run that I've been teasing for a while, for like a year actually at this point, go get 4 of your bros. Go sub to the channel, or make 4 alternative accounts, I guess, if it makes you feel better. I don't care if YouTube says I have 200, as long as those accounts are real and I don't drop and lose them at some point, then yeah, I'm happy with that. Listen, I gotta hit 500 before I can start monetizing anyway, so like I'm still down in the pits. I'm still down in the pits. Also, once again, if you're tuning in, donation bar is always down there if you want to help out. Silent Hill F will still happen, but it's if you want to help out is the way that those always work. For the record, the Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta playthrough was canceled currently not because I don't want to play it, but because Cronos the New Dawn suddenly announced its release date was a month later. In the month I had already planned and allotted for MGS Delta, so that had to get cut because I had already made plans for the Space Horror trilogy at that point. And that was a brand new thing versus a game that I have unfortunately played before. You know, but it's like, well, unfortunately the answer kind of made itself. I suppose if Cronos blew chunks, I could just sell it and then, like, you know, go get Delta, but I don't think I'm actually going to do that. Also, apparently Cronos doesn't blow chunks, so hey, no need to worry about that. So yeah, I'm excited to be getting to F later this month, but yeah, Delta is gonna have to happen at some point if I have additional funds, or it's on sale. I want a physical copy of that, so it's not just gonna be a digital sale, so it's gonna have to be a real sale. So we'll have to see how that goes. But yeah, so as always, those donation goals are always intended to be for games that I'm going to play, quote unquote, no matter what. But sometimes real life happens. You know, as I just learned, sometimes real life happens. As it did with Delta. So, you know, if you want to help out, if you want to assure the playthrough, you know where the donation box is. It's down below in the description as always. So please give that a look, give that a shot, take a look at it, do whatever you got to do for it. It is what it is. Thank you very much. Any support is always lovely. Also, I'm in Canada, so like, if you're US, you know the drill. Your dollars are inherently more value. If you're anywhere other than, oh God, if you're in the UK, you're like, your money might as well be gold to me. That shit converts real well. That shit converts real well. But anyway, anybody who wants to donate and support, thank you. I would always appreciate it. Also, if you want to support in a non-monetary way, you can go over to Twitch. You can drop a Prime sub. If you have one, if you have an Amazon Prime account, you can drop 1 free Prime sub a month. I do, in fact, get money from that, even if you are not paying anything for it, assuming you're not using it for anybody else. I would appreciate it greatly as a small creator. It does help me a lot, especially because Twitch doesn't give you any money until you hit a $50 payout. And I'm like around $2 with ad money. Also, if you want to support, again, non-monetarily, you can watch on Twitch every stream and watch the ads, and that helps. Especially if you have multiple devices and you're watching the stream, just hold one on Twitch for me, please. That helps enormously. Because then, oh, I don't need to explain how ads work to you guys. Anyway, you get the idea. All right. And with that, I need to go downstairs and make some quick setups for stuff related to Cronos, and then get working on starting No Man's Sky for the day. We can just vibe out and see what's going on with that. All right, and with that, thank you very much. This is the percentage chance update for the month of September. I do these whenever I feel like it. Normally they're live. This time I felt uncomfortable and I kept pushing it back because of the subject matter at the start. But now it's passed and I don't have to worry about it anymore because there's not anything that can be done about it. Anyway. I will see y'all next time. Thank you very much. And goodbye for the day. And, yeah. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm just tired all the time. See you guys in the next stream. I'm okay.